So this is gold here, this crust of stuff, and it's you can actually polish it. It's rough, soft, because it is 24 karat gold, and you can here, hang on, let's take a little Phillips screwdriver here, and I'll see if I can't maybe, whoops, hold on, please. Okay, well, we made a couple of impressions here. There. Got a little crumbly and carried away, and this one just did it right. I just barely pressed it in. So one of the things that got my attention a few years ago was I heard about a guy telling people about this stuff, AuPt, telling people that it was white gold and that you could eat it, ingest it. Okay, and I don't know what his name is. When I heard that stuff, I went, "Oh boy," because you should not eat heavy metals. Our body can't get rid of them, and they go into your body and usually lodge in the bones. And the immune response to that is to build a tumor around it. And you give yourself cancer eating gold. You don't want to eat gold. But this white stuff and gold, they're both very, 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 very heavy. And gold is 19 times heavier than water, and platinum is 21 times heavier. Okay, AuPt is right in the middle. It's half of that at 20. So it is 20 times heavier than water, than the same volume of water. If I take a cubic centimeter of AuPt, it will weigh exactly 20 grams. That's an easy way to figure things out. Metric measurements are always best. They have no fractions. Okay, so this is gold, 24 karat gold. And it's not metallic. If I try to run a current across there, one of the reasons it's not real shiny is also because it's not metallic. It's not bonded with metallic bonds. Now, the guy that was selling the white gold figured out that it was not metallic, but he didn't know enough chemistry to be able to understand what was going on. And I kind of came to this the other way around, from figuring out weathering in fault lines. And that's where this crusty stuff comes from. It's volcanic ash. And in this case, it's so heavily saturated with gold, it just crystallizes onto the side of the rock. And it crystallizes with the platinum. So it takes on some of that platinum structure. It's got that really distinct cubic structure. Um, so when you look at a piece of granite, it's it's not a bunch of little crystals. It's a little bunch of little cubes all lined up together. They're all cubes because it's all platinum or AuPt, and it forms in perfect little rows and columns because all the atoms are about the same size. And they orient themselves in a north-south sort of a relationship because they're magnetic. And they line up in these perfect little rows and columns. And so when you pick up a piece of granite and it's really heavy, that's why. Because it's not really a bunch of little crystals of quartz and feldspar. There is no quartz and feldspar in there. It is all AuPt, all of it. And I know that because I've tested it over and over and over again. I didn't believe it at first. I did not believe it. And so I tested it over and over and over again. Different tests, not just specific gravity and hardness, chemical tests with precious metals and the acids that can dissolve precious metals, aqua regia and piranha solution. And I have tested them. So when I say it, it's not because it's something I think or something I believe. I looked, I checked. It's new information, and it's not what people learned in school. It's sure not what I learned in school. But that's what it is. Those aren't separate little crystals at all, and you can see how orderly they are. Little crystals don't form in orderly rows and columns. Only big crystals do. If you have an aggregate of a bunch of little quartz crystals, like sand, for instance, there's no order to it at all. It doesn't line up in rows and columns. But AuPt does. AuPt does because of the magnetic fields in each particle. And they actually repel each other. And that's one of the things that causes the patterns in these stones. The metals are trying to get away from each other, and at the same time they're very, very heavy. So they're being drawn together and by gravity, by the pull of gravity. This is the result. And this is not just my mountains, it's all mountains. The entire planet is made out of AuPt. It's part of what creates the Earth's electromagnetic field.